What's going on, guys? GamerDad96 here, more commonly known as Punch. I'm not really a YouTuber, and I don't really have an intro, so let's just get right into it. Global Offensive just got a great update. It brought in a new unranked 5v5 game mode, and one of the maps featured in that game mode is something that we haven't seen since 2014. It's Seaside, a map that's been featured in multiple operations in the past. But today I just want to talk about Seaside because when I saw this update, I did what most normal people do. I hopped into an offline server and I walked around it for about an hour and I found a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about. There's a lot of crazy boosts, some angles, and just some other things that I really wanted to share. And I need a new computer because Counter-Strike may have killed it. Guys, go ahead and karate chop that comment section if you also have bad FPS and leg drop that like button. I'm kidding, I'm not a YouTuber. But seriously, let's try to get this video seen by whoever can make some changes, because this is the first thing I found when I hopped in this map. You're able to jump off the top of that box and get on a ledge behind the building that I'm going to call Charlie Sheen. This is also a spot where you can get the bomb stuck, since you aren't able to jump back onto the bomb site. So to try to keep this video tidy, I'm going to go ahead and show you all the bomb stuck spots that I found.
Man, I feel like winning. Man, I feel like winning. Just like Charlie Sheen. Man, I feel like winning. Man, I feel like winning. Just like Charlie Sheen. Man, I feel like winning.
So all those images are going to be in the description of this video. They're going to be in an Emger album, and they're all going to have like descriptions of their locations and things like that. I only spent like 10 minutes looking for spots to get the bomb stuck, so I'm definitely sure there's way more. But I think just by removing the obvious ones, it'll greatly reduce the amount of griefing that's going to happen, and it's more importantly going to improve the overall experience of the people playing on the map. But enough about the bomb stuck locations. I'm going to start talking about the boosts on this map that you can do. Here's this one ridiculous boost that you can do in T-spawn. This is a boost where you're going to need 3 people to set it up without SV cheats, but you can still set it up pretty quickly in a real match, and you get a huge view of the B site and parts of middle as well. You can actually just leave one person on the AC units and then jump spot from that location for info, or you can just use the scout's jumping accuracy for kills. And that means that technically, only one person has to stay behind in this spot to capitalize on the ridiculous amount of info you get from it, and that makes it pretty powerful. And obviously, when you get 2 people on the AC units, you don't have to jump, and you can just use the op or auto sniper and just Olaf your way to a dub. The spot doesn't seem intended and should probably be removed from the map. It is incredibly powerful, and honestly, there's just not much else to say about it. So next is a similar boost that will require 3 people without SV cheats as well. This one is on the CT side of B, and you're going to boost 2 people onto the stack of wood there, and then you're going to get those 2 people to do a boost on the electrical box on the wall. And once a person is on that electrical box, they'll be able to see over that wall and defend a huge part of the map. So it's another boost where a ton of info can be gained just by having a single person in that position, because once you're on the electrical box, the second person on there is not needed. This is another crazy boost that I don't think should exist. It gives a lot of information and it's just a pretty crazy angle to have to clear for the T's. So it should be removed from the game, I think. And you'll see that I can boost a teammate to this position and then just walk away. It's a great spot for info and it's easy to fall back and still be in a great position to defend B. And a funny thing about this position is you can actually walk across the wall here and you can put yourself in the cage on top of the ladder and then stand on the doorway. It should go without saying that being able to stand on the doorway needs to be removed for obvious reasons. Having a clear angle directly above your head is a nightmare, and unfortunately, there's a theme of that all across the map. Like the one that you're seeing right now, the doorway at middle. And there's a few more. You're not able to jump on all of them, but this is one that you're going to have to be able to B-hop to. And this is actually one where you can stand on top of the light fixture as well as the doorway. And some decent movement's going to be required to reach this one. And you can actually get on either side of this door frame, and in order to get to the other side of the door frame in the other room, at the start of that clip, you use either a teammate's head or you run boost to that position, then you just strafe onto the wall. And speaking of run boosts, there's a pretty funny one you can do to get on in this weird spot in a corner. I don't think it's ever going to be practical, but it's just kind of funny that you can get to it. And we have another boost here. This one's kind of silly just due to its location, but it's a pretty dumb angle nonetheless. If you ever do happen to run into this somehow, this gets set up. You're not going to be checking for this. It is a very stupid thing to check, and I don't think it should be in the game personally, but I honestly don't see it ever happening per se. But I guess that's not any reason to keep it. It's definitely really silly, and I don't like it. But here is a boost that I think is pretty practical and can be kept in the game. You just kind of stand on top of this thing. You don't really have to boost to it, but you can. it's just a really out in the open position. I don't think you're gonna really gain anything from being up there. It's a pretty interesting thing because I guess you can peer into heaven with it, but there is something that you are able to do from this location here. I'm just going to show that you can get up there yourself, but there is one thing you can do from this position that definitely shouldn't be in the game, and it's this. You can jump on the electrical box and then just stand there. That's really wacky. I don't know what to say about that other than I really hope that this gets removed. Because again, this is a really wacky way to look into that heaven area, and it's just not a good thing. So now I'd kind of like to talk about the angles on this map. I did a lot of running around. I like to just, whenever a new map gets released, obviously this one isn't new, but I like to just check things out, and I found some things that I did not like on this one. And I'm going to start with this box here that has a huge hole in the middle that you're able to see through. Now there's two boxes like this on this map, but this one's definitely the worst of the two because you're on a very horizontal part of the area there. It's just very, very, very annoying to clear. It's not very fun. Competitively, it seems very unfair and it just shouldn't exist. I'm not a big fan of that box at all. Also, you're able to jump on the back of this thing and kind of just play whack-a-mole. It's very silly. It's like the back of Dust 2, but it feels even worse somehow because it's just so much wider and you're not able to Molotov it. I would definitely like to see some changes made to that entire area. Maybe some boxes get moved back. Maybe that one where I was playing whack-a-mole that can get moved forward a bit. There's just maybe just some few changes that can happen there. I feel because the way it is now, there's just way too many whack-a-mole, jiggle peak. Like you're just standing on a very tiny ledge type locations where you have to clear it by getting as close as possible to the ledge. It's very strange, and I'm not sure if that should remain the way it is. And here I'm just kind of checking out some other angles near the pier. The pier is kind of an odd one. And there's a few really silly angles that I'm not too sure if I agree with, but it is what it is. I feel like it's fine. But finally, we're at the part that I really want to talk about when it comes to the angles on this map, and it's Charlie Sheen. This part of the map I think is ridiculous. If you're going to be peeking A from middle, it is super silly. Because not only do you have to worry about B behind you, you're going to have to smoke if you're going to want to go A from mid. But there's just so much going on, like this little angle next to the what is that? I don't know, the support beam there underneath the little ladder room area. Like you just have to look through that. Then there's might be people actually just in the open area that can be on top of that box. It is so ridiculous, all the things you'd have to clear. Obviously, I think that Charlie Sheen's fucking Tiger Blood factory in the back should get shut down. You should not be able to stand on that little ledge there. But every part of the pier you're able to stand, so you get some pretty crazy off angles. Like if you're gonna peek it from up here, you have to clear the entire pier, any stupid fucking part of it, and then you have to look at the box. They can be boosted on top of, or not boosted rather, but they can be standing on top of it. They can be under it. They can be to the left or right of it. There can be people in that doorway in Charlie Sheen. There can be people in that weird wooden part with the two beams going across that you can stand on. It's just so much going on. I think that that entire area needs to have something done to it. And I feel like if I were to give any suggestions, I wouldn't feel too comfortable giving them in a very compressed type of format because this video is already long enough, and I don't want to make it too much about how the map can be improved competitively and all the angles for it and things like that. Um, at this point, I'm just kind of more so pointing out the very large scale issues with the map, just so we can move forward quickly and make it the best map that it can be as soon as possible. Because I really do like the map and I want to see it become a great map. And honestly, I mean, I wouldn't mind having it replace Vertigo, honestly, as far as small maps are concerned. I think it's a great map, and I do just kind of want to see how far we can take this map because it's a pretty good map. At the very least, we just get a great map in the unranked queues. So, lastly, to close the video out, I'd like to talk about some texture bugs in the map. Uh, there's only a few that I found. I wasn't really looking for them. I'm not too big on finding them. But actually, the first one that I'm going to talk about is this door here. And it's actually one that I found with my friend Makoto, who was helping me do the boosts earlier. And she was just shooting the door randomly, and she noticed that it turned green when you shoot it. And yeah, it happens for everybody on the server. I can't explain anything about it. I don't understand what causes it, but just shooting the door makes it turn green. It kind of like fractures it like in half horizontal or not horizontal diagonally rather. Um, for whatever reason, you can't hit it with your knife. Like the knife leaves no decals. But shooting it just makes it into a black hole void of hell. So I thought that was pretty funny. Definitely something that should be fixed. It's pretty wacky. Here's a clip of her actually finding it out and us being amazed by it. It looks pretty cool actually, but it should be removed nonetheless because it's a pretty weird texture bug and it could be pretty disorienting. Because when you do walk away from it, it gets darker and it could be pretty confusing, especially if someone walks in front of it. So that's about all I have to say about that. Next thing I notice is there's just a piece of leaf that kind of sticks out through the wall here. It doesn't really mean much. It's not anything special, but it does kind of annoy me, and it could be an easy fix. Lastly, there's just this garage door on the A site that doesn't get decals on it. Just no matter what, I couldn't get anything to stick on it. No blood, no knives, no bullet holes, nothing. So I again, I don't think competitively this really changes much. It's just kind of disorienting. This may not even be something you notice at all, but it would just improve the overall quality of the map if this were changed, I feel. It's not a big deal, but just something I noticed. And yeah, I've never made a video like this before. I'm sorry, even my mic quality is not very good. I don't make videos like this, but I felt the need to just try to help out and try to make the best map that I can here. I'm just kind of showing that blood gets on the wall when you shoot the guy, but it doesn't over there. Blah blah blah. Um, hey, really quickly, guys, do you think that if you throw a flashbang into the ocean and it's fully submerged, it'll still blind you? Gotta guess quick. Yeah, the answer is yes, it does. I thought that was pretty fun. I had a lot of fun making this video. I usually don't make videos like this at all. In fact, all the videos I've uploaded on my channel are basically shit posts. They take no longer than half an hour to an hour. But this one, I saw something that I felt that I could help improve, and it's about something that I'm pretty passionate about. I love this game, and I want to see it become better. And this new update I'm pretty passionate about as well. I love the idea of unranked 5v5. That means we finally get to play with our friends. It's something that people have been asking for a long time. People that want to play with their friends but can't due to matchmaking ranks or it's too stressful, things like that. You know, I feel like it's just a great direction for the game. And for once in my life, I feel like I should try to help instead of sit back and complain about it because a lot of times in the past I would just complain about an update or a map that gets pushed, and instead of trying to help, I would just sit there and be negative. So this time I thought I'd put my 2 cents in, I'd do what I can to make it better, and yeah, that's about all I have to say.